Hello everybody. Today we're visiting heritage town of Al-Khabra, one of the old town in the Al-Qassim. It's built before 200 years ago. Let's see it together and we'll take you will have some information about it before you visit this place. It's a nice place actually.
The heritage town or village of Al-Khubara, which was an important agricultural center in the Qassim region, extends over an area of 80,000 square meters and includes 350 houses of varying sizes. It includes one- or two-story mud buildings surrounded by a large square located in the heart of the neighborhoods, in addition to 59 shops. The town was built more than 200 years ago from mud, which made it strong in the face of time and erosion. It was built in a circular shape, resembling the construction of Baghdad in the Abbasid era, where it remained cohesive. The village surrounds the council market and the mosque in a circular shape. Thus, the places of buying and selling are in the middle of the town.
We are inside the village, or let's say town of the Al Khabra heritage. Al Khabra, we call it Al Khabra, by the way. We're heading first of all to the Jami' of Al Khabra. I recommend it to visit this place or this town or village in Friday. Friday it's open and free for everybody. You will see a lot of people. They are coming to for Jum'ah prayer. We are inside the old Jami' for the village. It's still the people still there praying in that Jami'. It's very old Jami'. You can see the roof from the palm tree and we call it ethel tree. It's from the area. They bring it from the area. It's mud and built from the mud, and they are maintaining it until at that time. So it's good to see these places. They pray it in the summertime. They use this jama there, and we'll see in the winter where they pray. We call it al khalwa. We'll see it together later on. The carpet is modern, but the building is still from the last era, or let's say built since 200 years ago. What a lovely jama or mosque. You can smell the history from that jama. It's something else. You feel something else. You see how's the roof from the palms and the ethel tree. As we mentioned before, they are bringing it from the area around the Al Khabra village. Now we're heading to Al Khalwa. Al Khalwa, it's a mosque, but they use it in the winter time because it's below the sea level, so it's warm. They can't pray it in warm weather. Later on, we'll go outside. We'll see all of the village. Now we are outside. This is the village. We're heading to the majlis, which is the gathering. If there is any events, any threat, they are gathering that majlis. We call it majlis. It's something we can call it a reception for the guest as well. If they have a guest or have they or the village or the local of the village, they are gathering there and talking and see each other in that place. We call it majlis in Arabic. Majlis of the village. See how big is it? Using the same material, they built the village from it. Mud and the roof from the apple tree and the palm tree. This is a huge majlis. We call it majlis. It can take around 60 to 80 person the same time, and they use the white shelves for the tea pot and the coffee pot, so the coffee pot. This is the decoration. They make it by the white. It's not cement, but we call it gyps. I don't know it's in English, but they use it for as the decoration, and they use it for the light siraj for lighting. Plus that hanger, they hanging their clothes and the bisht they there when they coming to the majlis. You'll see a lot of them in the majlis to hang their bisht or abaya or something like that. Plus the windows near to the floor to make it the wind coming, and plus the window in the top. You can see the top using the rope, the yellow rope, to open it and close it when they didn't need it. We left the majlis to the square or of the Khubara village. See one of the sources of water for the village. It's they have 11 of source of water like this one, but they didn't use it now. They just in the past they use it for the village when they surrounding by enemy. They closing the door and using their own sources. This area, the square, where the big area in the middle of the village, they use it for ceremony. For sometimes they doing some let's say call it local projects, and they, if you can see it in the left corner of the screen, they make it celebrate. They celebrating here for some events. They making some event during the year.
The Old Town is located in the middle of the Qassim region in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on an area of 120,000 square meters, built in a historical period dating back to the year 1115 AH, and was described as a fortified fortress that withstood invasions and military campaigns. It was named Al-Khubara because it was a place where rainwater and water from Wadi al-Rumah gathered in the past, which is the largest valley in the Arabian Peninsula. It was also called Al-Afalik Kabra after the Al-Afalik family, its first inhabitants in the first millennium AH. The town is located in a distinguished location on the northern banks of the famous Wadi al-Rumah and is 60 kilometers away from Buraida, 40 kilometers away from Unaiza, 20 kilometers away from Aras, and 10 kilometers away from Al-Bukhariya. The Old Town is also located about 1 kilometer south of the old Qassim Medina Road in a somewhat elevated exposed area. If Wadi al-Rumah was filled with water, it would surround the old Al-Khubara, which gave it a distinguished strategic location by detecting enemies before they arrived. Experts from the ancient Qassim countries and historians differ on the year of its construction. The oldest sayings say that it was built in 995 AH, and the first well was dug in it in 1009 AH. As for the historian Ibrahim bin Saleh bin Isa, he mentioned that the construction of the experts was in 1140 AH, and it was called in the pre-Islamic era experts of Sidr, and among its names are experts of Majadir and experts of Jal. For this reason, it was an area of population attraction and its construction was rapid in a short period, and it expanded towards the west, so Riyadh al-Kubra was built, and the two towns were integrated until the extension of the farms from the east of al-Kubra to the west of Riyadh. Al-Khubra reached about 15 kilometers in the early 14th century AH, and this is a very large area by the standards of that time. The old town of Al-Kubra has all its houses made of clay. The old town of Al-Khubara has all its houses made of mud, so there is no trace of cement in its construction. The diameter of the wall, the knot, is approximately 1 kilometer, and its thickness at the bottom is 80 centimeters, and at the top 40 centimeters, and its height is 6 meters. It has 4 gates. In the west, the Southern Gate; in the south, the Mecca Gate; in the east, the Mamal Gate, Unaiza; and in the north, the Kirkuk Gate, Al-Shafa. The town is divided by 4 main streets: the Qubbat al-Omar Gate, the Qubbat al-Salha Gate, the Qubbat al-Sabit Gate, and the Qubbat al-Nuwaysir Gate. There are approximately 10 wells Hasu in it. The population of the town, including the Riyadh al-Khubara, in the middle of the 12th century AH was approximately 3,500 people and 200 families outside the town on farms.